department's role to get as much information out about that player, to support that player, to make everybody realize that what this player is doing to be deserving of this award and other awards. And just like any other award, All-Americans or the Outland Trophy, these are all awards that are voted on by people who are dependent on other people for information. These are not people who necessarily know the technical aspects of the game, do not know what kind of records are being broken at the drop of a hat. They don't know the importance of a situation that's happening on the field when it occurs. It's the job of the sports information director, the media relations person, to have an understanding of the context of what the player is doing and to create a narrative which paints this player in the best possible light. You want to create a compelling narrative. Things like what the Texas SID did in the late 70s for Earl Campbell. He created a category called yards after contact. This was the first we'd heard of that for running backs. And so this sort of took on a life of its own. There's all kinds of things you can do to find sort of hooks for why a player would be qualified to win an award. And then at that point, it's up to the voters to decide who has the most compelling narrative. Sometimes the stats overwhelm any sort of narrative. With Johnny Manziel last year, they didn't really need to do a campaign because he had over 5,000 yards of total offense, which is the most in Heisman history. When you have that, you don't really need to do a campaign, but to then say, well, you don't really need a campaign, just really supposes that anybody's going to go out and get 5,000 yards of offense. So with everything else being equal, if there were two other guys on the season who also had 5,000 yards of offense, how would Johnny Manziel make his case? Why is he better than those other two? And that's up to the school as, above all, the prime supporter. And everyone knows they're biased, but if you do it in a certain way, you can show with some level of objectivity or at least some intellectual honesty why your player's the best.